How about a 3D player map for a game? Hello and welcome to the Battle and Barrow and another crafting video. In this one, at some point I want to rerun the Into the Borderlands, keep on the Borderlands, probably running it with the Goodman Games Into the Borderlands 5e conversion. But I'm always one for handouts and player aids as a DM, and one of the things I wanted to do was sort of visualise in a 3D manner the Caves of Chaos map. So I decided to make one, and so this is what we're going to build in this craft session. We're going to build this 3D player map so the players can go in, sort of see where the caves are, how high they are, get an idea, and they can sort of tell me I want to explore that cave. So let's get crafting. Gonna need a map for this, so gonna turn to Into the Borderlands for it. I mean, I could have used this one here if I wanted to make it big, but I don't really want it to be that big. So what I'm going to do in here, it has copies of the original module. It's a really good book actually if you're into this. Again, could use these copies, but the one I like is the actual one that's in the 5e edition, this one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan this in and print it out and then cut it down, so all I've got is the map. It's nice little size. The reason I want it this big is you don't want anything too big, just there to show you players roughly where the holes are, so I can let you know I'm going to want to go in holes. The entrances are, I want to go in this one, so you go, cool, we're running cave A. With this, it's basically 25 foot high, so I'm going to use some 25mm thick polystyrene and the white packaging type, the cheap stuff, which is great. So I'm going to cut those down to size, which I've got here, and I'm going to make 4 of them because there's 4 ravines. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this bit out and then trace around it. Now I'm going to cut around this section here and repeat the process. And what I should do is then trace around that on another bit of foam, cut round the next bit, and so forth and so forth. So now I have them all marked out, it's time to cut them out. And for this, a hot wire cutter is going to be my friend for this. Just going to follow the line round. I've got to do the same with the others. When they're all cut out, they'll look something like this. I can see how high it's going to be. It's going to be alright. It's going to be alright. Interestingly, enough cuts when put together, so it'll look like this. So no, maybe I can do something with this in the future, so I'm going to keep them. Any suggestions, put them down in the comments. Now, what I want to do is it's a bit stepped. If you want to get away with just leaving it like that, but I want to smooth out the edges. So for this, it's back to tracing some lines. So what I want to do is, because I don't want to, when I'm smoothing it out, I don't want to go over, and so I'm going to put it in position. Quickly just trace around each part. That'll tell me where. If I cut further than that, I've done too much. maybe just here I can get my steep on. It's quite steep. Ooh. Yeah, okay. I'll come back to that. See how I feel about that. Back to the hot wire table. I can hopefully just take the time, as long as I don't go over that line. I'm going to do it in stages just to make sure. And this is what it looks like. Now I've got it all done. This bit was actually harder than what I thought it was going to be, getting the angles in. It's possibly a bit steep, but it's representative. It's going to be a nice little player aid. So next I just want to mark out where all the caves are going to be. And so for that we'll bring back the map. It's going to be easy if I do this, something like this. So I can see that where they're going to be. Yeah, okay, so I have A here. I make it nice and sort of big so the players can really easily see where they are. G over here. D is down here, next to E here. Okay, next up. I shall carry on doing these afterwards, I think. Just carry on doing these, carry on going. It's going to be this one here, isn't it? So yeah, I'll do this all off camera. And now what I want to do, I think I've got them marked here, is there's up to L, which is ironically down here. That's the extra bit, but M. Yeah, so I'm going to just make sure I've got them all by just writing them in, just for my own purposes. A. Where's B? B's up here. Okay, now I can cut these out. Back to the hot wire car. Everything cut out, we can glue it all together, but before that I'm going to cut out a bit of chipboard. That's the same size of the base, so it can sit on there like so. So yeah, we're all going to glue it in. Moving over to the plaster table now. What I have done is I've just angled these off camera just to make it a bit more gentle transition, and I am now going to coat this in Mod Rock. This is one of my favourite products. It's just plaster on a roll. I've used it a lot on the channel. So you just soak it in water for a few seconds. Come onto here and rub the plaster on. Don't want to get too much onto the chipboard because I don't want to blow the chipboard out. I'm only going to do, probably going to cover the sides in chipboard. I'm done. So for now I just want to cover the foam. Yeah, so you soak it in water, you put it on and you rub it in. Poke it into the caves. They can paint it black, but I do want them to get quite deep. Yeah, this will take a while, so I'm going to do it off camera. It's not completely dry, but I can do the next bit. It's painting. So for this, the first thing I want to do is just paint the cave holes black, just to make sure that they, you know, look like they're not just short little things, the actual caves. So I'm going to paint all of these black. With the black still wet, I'm also going to come in with do some grey cave walls, just a wet blend. You can see that on there. Finally, for the painting, I'm going to come in with some burnt umber and just paint the walls and the floor. This will be then flocked. So you may be wondering why I'm not painting it green, because that's a very sort of old, if I was building some old hammer terrain I would, but if you're building something like this you want it to be brown, because that's the soil layer, and so it'll look better when they flock it with greens. But yeah, I'm going to paint this. And now we're going to flock it, so what I'm going to do is just going to come in with some tacky glue and a wet brush and move that glue around so it's almost like a watered down PVA. And cover it all in glue in one go. And now it's covered in glue. I'm just going to come in on a board that I can use to shake off and cover it in flock. I am going to apply some tacky glue around the entrances of the caves, and then I'm going to put in two different sizes of ballast, a medium size to act as larger rocks and a smaller one. Still using tacky glue, I'm going to get some clump foliage that I have here. I'm going to dab it into the glue and then apply it around the map as per the map. And this will act as foliage and the trees. Okay, we're on to the home stretch now. I am going to clad the sides, and I'm going to use chipboard for this. I'm just going to put it in and just use a pencil to trace round. And we'll then cut that out. With them cut out, we can just apply some glue to the side and stick them on.